Thank you for choosing the SNL Fan Podcast, and I'm your host, just some guy named Jay. And in this installment of the SNL Fan Podcast, basically what I want to do is review the Josh Hutcherson and Haim episode of Saturday Night Live that aired November 23rd. But before I do that, I just want to make a quick statement. It took me a long time to do this podcast. Because in the past I've come out with them a lot sooner, and now it's a little later in the week while I'm doing them. And I know this is Thanksgiving week too, so I had a lot of things going on with family and things like that. But in addition to that, these SNL fan podcasts, even though I get the hits and people reply here and there, send messages, it starts to become a chore after a while, and I feel like I've made the commitment to going ahead and make the episode reviews and do them every time they have a new episode of Saturday Night Live, because I'm a huge fan. But just recently I've been feeling like, oh man, what's the use? Okay, let me go on ahead and do another one. Let me muster up the strength to record this one. And just as I was procrastinating even longer, I looked through my private messages, and I got a message from one of the dedicated, loyal viewers, listeners of the podcast, Loren Davis, and so instead of because I usually give shout outs to various things at the beginning of each podcast. They're actually people that just they're actually sponsors. Send money to the PayPal account, and I give them a shout out and kind of promote their things and shout them out throughout the podcast. But you know what? This time I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give a shout out to a listener and a fan, because without the listeners and without the numbers and without the viewers, nobody would nobody would want to advertise anyway. So. And I know I'm not one of the hugest YouTube channels on the web right now. I'm more of a better salesman than I am at actually getting the numbers and viewers. But that's going to change moving forward. The more I do these and the more I learn. But I want to give a shout out to Loren Davis, not a sponsor, just a fan, just a listener, just somebody that actually just comes through and listens to them and always makes comments, always make posts. And sends messages, and after reading the message, it just gave me the strength to say, hey, I need to go ahead and keep doing them, hey, let me do this. So I definitely appreciate the message, and I'm glad you guys are listening, and I like getting messages like this. So shout out to Loren Davis. And if you have a link that you want me to plug or something, send it in a private message, Loren, and I'll in the next podcast I'll also advertise that if you want me to. Definitely keep listening, definitely keep supporting. And I'm glad you think I'm just as funny as the show. I'm glad you think my commentary is just as entertaining as actually watching Saturday Night Live. And that's actually what I'm going for. Okay, but enough about that. I know you, the people that was like, okay, who is Loren Davis? Okay, go to do the review. I want to hear what you're gonna say about the show. And I know Loren Davis does too. So let me go on ahead and get the review popping. All right, the Piers Morgan live skit. It was pretty good. Where he talked about where he interviewed George Zimmerman's fiance or girlfriend that he because George Zimmerman recently got arrested for violence against his girlfriend or whatever. And a lot of people on Twitter, it's kind of old. A lot of people on Twitter were making jokes about this, like, oh, this guy thinks he can get away with murder and things like that. So it's kind of like, I guess at SNL, they had to make fun, they had to somehow take it, comment on this. It was decent. It was good. It's not a classic skit or anything. They got their point across, did what they had to do, made the jokes, blah blah, hit the points. All right. Moving on to the monologue, Josh Hutcherson. I actually liked it. They had to make a comment on the new Hunger Games movie. Because he's a member. He's a he's in the cast of Hunger Games. He was the You know, the guy, the second lead next to Jennifer. Oh my God, I don't know, man. My brain is kind of foggy right now. I'm trying to remember names and things. I need to make better notes. I don't want to keep doing stuff like this, and the listeners go, "You don't know who you're talking about." Just some guy named Jay. You don't. Did you watch it? I'm saying so. Yeah. But you know, what was I about to say? I'm glad that they touched on. They did a nice little Hunger Games type thing. But one of the funniest things in this skit was Cecily Strong. When Noel Wells said, "Oh, I hope I get picked, even though we got to fight to the death. I hope I get picked because now I'll get some more airtime." And then Cecily Strong, when she got picked, Cecily Strong said, "Okay, I'll take it from here." I'm saying like how she just took over. That was funny because Noel Wells doesn't get any airtime, and Cecily Strong is all over the place. So it was a good little way to make fun of that. I like it when when SNL makes fun of themselves and kind of break the walls and things like that. Uh, and it was it was funny. Kate McKinnon did her thing, man. Kate McKinnon is uh, always she's always what are the words? See, I need a thesaurus. I need to have a thesaurus sitting right next to me so I can quit saying definitely and quit saying, well, she did her thing. I need to go on ahead and get me a thesaurus and read through it so I can make this more descriptive. Kate McKinnon always brings a good performance. Okay, let's go on to the next skit. I'm dragging this out. The Girlfriend's Talk Show. This was one of the worst ones. Aidy was the funniest one in the Aidy Bryant. Cecily Strong Cecily Strong is a good performer, but she makes these sketches terrible. She doesn't say much. She's awesome and all this stuff like that, and it's just my boyfriend's crazy. Like it's just Cecily Strong. She's not strong in these sketches. Aidy Bryant, though, the things that she say and how she reacts to the guests and reacts to Cecily, Aidy gets the best lines, but it's not something they need to keep doing. It's getting stale. It's definitely getting stale. I think the first time they did this, it was very funny, and I was like, wow, this was kind of cool. This is funny, but now it's like, okay, you guys can't think of anything. That's why you're doing this. Josh Hutcherson's character, it was funny. Josh Hutcherson, I would like to say this about him. He's he was pretty good. He was like one of those guys that he wasn't like phenomenal, but he's one of those people that did better than I expected because I thought he was going to be kind of a stiff. I thought he was going to be kind of weak, but I mean he really put himself into him. He did his thing. I'm not going to say that he did he underperformed or overperformed anything like that, but he just he definitely exceeded my expectations. The next skit where Beck Bennett played like a baby, like a baby CEO or something like that. That was funny. It was funny. Beck Bennett had the movements down great. Like how he moved and how he was kind of like a baby but a grown man at the same time. And Josh Hutcherson's character was kind of trying to get used to it and trying to, it was funny, man. Beck Bennett I didn't really expect Beck Bennett to be really that great with the physical comedy. Just based on what little I've known of him, before joining SNL, but he did well. He did well. And I think this might become a recurring character because you know how SNL does. But I hope it doesn't though. This needs to be one of those one and done sketches. Like, okay, we know the joke. It was funny. Keep it moving. Don't keep doing this every time you get a chance. I don't think this has the potential to be a hit among casual SNL viewers. It's something that was cool, but don't keep doing it. But if they insist on bringing this character back, they need to find a way to put him in a different setting or put him in a different situation, because that's where SNL kind of falls short, in my opinion. Where when they do the recurring characters, they need to switch it up. Like, okay, like It's Pat back in the 90s when Julia Sweeney did It's Pat. It was the same joke. People were trying to figure out what gender she was. Like, is it a man? Is it a woman? They kept asking questions, kept probing and stuff like that. But what made it really interesting is they kept putting It's Pat. They kept putting Pat in different situations. They kept putting her in different, different kind of, they kept putting her in different situations, and that's what made it funny. And I don't know why other sketch comedy shows are better at doing that. And SNL, even when SNL was in its when it was in its prime and things like that, they just kind of, with their recurring characters, they kind of just keep them in the same setting, and they just kind of change the host or maybe tweak one or two things, but like other sketch comedy shows like in Living Color and Mad TV and things like that. I mean, I'm talking about the ones in the 90s. I'm not going further back, but just 90s sketch comedy shows. They take their recurring characters on the road, They put them in different situations, put them in different scenarios. We get to know some background on the characters. We get to meet the characters' families sometimes. SNL just doesn't do that. It's the same setting, same lines, same jokes. The only thing that'll be different is the host. They'll just have the host do something different, And that's pretty much it. So, yeah, let me go on, keep it moving. The Matchbox 3 skit where Jay Pharaoh and Josh Hutherson and Kenan Thompson played subway performers. That was very nice. I'm glad they this was a nice digital short. And they had a lot of digital shorts in this episode too. I noticed. It kind of felt like that season when Billy Crystal and Christopher Guest was in the cast, because they had short film. They had like more short films in that season than they actually did live stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they just had so many little little shorts or whatever. And this episode kind of felt like that, in my opinion. They just had so many commercials and digital shorts and digital things and things. I guess that's what you got to do sometimes when you don't have that many good writers. But Matchbox 3, yeah, the Matchbox 3 skit was good, especially the part when it kept getting crowded on the subway. And Jay Pharaoh was like, "Okay, we're gonna be we're gonna be dancing, only using our eyebrows and stuff like that." It was getting good. It was definitely getting good. And then John Milhiser, they replaced him with John Milhiser. That was a good little part too. Okay, I don't review the music, but Haim did they did their thing. Weekend update. This was nice. They had some nice jokes and things like that. But I think it kind of feels like Seth is just there. It's kind of like we're just kind of twiddling our thumbs, waiting for him to leave, and he needs to just go. Like, he's not that bad, but he's not that. Like, I don't know. I guess it is a good move to keep him on. Keep him in the public eye until the show comes on. Because everybody has like short attention spans. So Seth Meyers off weekend update, and then he takes over late night. When Jimmy Fallon takes over the Tonight Show, we might forget. Some people who are casual SNL viewers, they might forget all about this. Like, who the heck is Seth Meyers? Wasn't he on Saturday Night Live? And then he'll be gone for like 3 months or something. So I guess that's a good move. But I don't know, man. It's just like it's just I don't know. It's like we're just all twiddling our thumbs, kind of like, okay, Seth's there. Can't wait for him to leave so Cecily can just kind of spread her wings, because I want to see Cecily kind of spread her wings on Weekend Update and kind of own the update desk and kind of make it hers. But she's not really doing that right now. She's just there. She's just kind of there feeding off Seth. Aidy Bryant's bit was good. It was cool. The 80s song, the little the little lip syncing type skit they did, where Vanessa Bayer was talking to Josh Hutcherson's character, and he was singing out his replies. That was funny. That was good. It was a nice original skit. And Josh Hutcherson, he really he really did his thing in that skit. You know, he really did his thing. Taran Killam, man, like I like how he does extra things, like how he moves his head a certain way, or does, you know what I'm saying? And it was so funny how when he came out with that mullet and started playing whatever instrument he had, I forgot what he had in his hand, and he went back in the window like. That's how you got to do it. You got to move your head a certain way and move your eyes. I mean, you know, Taran is definitely good at those physical, you know, that physical comedy. Um, let's see. I'm looking at the time too. I don't want to run this out. The firing skit where Cecily Strong and Bobby Moynihan play two people who always get fired from a job or always at a meeting and they're talking junk about all the other co-workers. Now that was funny like the first two times they did it, you know, but now it's just getting kind of like, oh, well, I know what you're gonna do, I know what you're gonna say. And I remember Tim Robinson used to be in these sketches all the time, but now Tim Robinson's just a writer. So I guess they're gonna make other people the person they're gonna fire, maybe Taran Killam, or maybe they might switch it up, but I don't think they need to keep doing this. Like it was fun while it lasted. We get it, but I don't know. Or like I said, if they're gonna do this skit, they need to put those two people, Cecily and Bobby's character. I think it was Niff and Dana. I guess. They need to put them in different, like, I don't know. They need to take the same characters but put them in different scenarios. They put them in different jobs, but it's pretty much the same premise. Okay, yes, Best Buy. Okay, last time it was McDonald's, and then it was Starbucks, I think, or one time it was Barnes and Nobles. Like, okay, it's different jobs, but it's the same joke, So next time, have the same characters, but maybe different. Maybe approach it differently. I don't know. I'm not the expert. I'm not there. Vanessa Bayer's the expert. Now since we're doing dancing, talking about these little short films with the dancing, that Beck Bennett and Kyle Mooney thing, that was hilarious. It just kept getting fun. It kept getting more outrageous as it went along, where he was dancing in his living room and things like that, and the promoter came there. It just kept getting funnier. I liked it. It was original. I mean, see, that's one thing I like about Kyle Mooney so far. He can be creative and innovative without being too weird, and I think a lot of people who try to be creative and innovative, they don't know how to do it without being weird. Even Fred Armisen, Fred Armisen is like the king of that kind of comedy, of like doing weird. Like, I'm not gonna say weird because Will Forte was more weird, but Fred Armisen was more creative. That Fred Armisen can be creative, but he sometimes loses it and gets kind of too. What is he doing? This doesn't make any sense. But Kyle Mooney, he knows how to be creative and still make it like a normal skit, But I liked it. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Kyle Mooney and Beck Bennett's digital shorts. Okay, moving right along. The Animal Hospital skit. You know what? I don't remember this skit that much. I saw it. I looked at it. It was something about the animals kept dying or something like that. But I don't remember if I thought it was funny or not. I should have went back. I should have maybe reviewed it or something. Went back on the tape or something. I'm too lazy. But I don't. I swear it didn't stick with me. Even bad sketches stick with me. Where all I have to do is kind of make one note to myself, and I remember what they did. This time I don't remember. Oh my God, what does that say? What does that say about SNL? I swear, I don't know. Maybe I should have went back on the tape and looked at it so I can give this a good kind of review. But I swear I don't remember this. I swear I don't remember. I wrote a little note to myself to say something about this, and I don't remember. I'm drawing a blank. The Animal Hospital skit. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. The next digital short where Michael Bryan was interviewing Bugs, Now Michael Bryan, he's good at interviewing people. At least he can do that. And the Buck skit was a little funny. It was okay. It was okay. It was creative. It was refreshing. It was new. Uh, but it's just something about Michael Bryan's execution that just doesn't. They're just not sitting. They're just, I don't know. Something about his execution. Um, okay, this this podcast is 20 minutes long. Let me go ahead and wrap this up. We got one more skit left. The Thanksgiving guest skit, where Vanessa Bayer plays a turkey. Um, she did alright as the turkey, and the family, Taran Killam, they were great. They had a good, they had, it was good. Um, I don't know. It was kind of strange. It was good. It was good and strange at the same time. Uh, okay, yeah, that's all I like to say about that. I don't know what to say. um, you know, um, I'm sitting there scratching my head thinking. Yeah. Let me just wrap the podcast up. Overall, Josh Hutcherson did his thing. Um, he did his thing. He did his thing. He didn't underperform, but he didn't overperform. He just was solid in everything that he did. I want to give another shout out to Loren Davis. Thanks. Thanks for the messages. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for reading. I mean, reading. Thanks for listening. And share this with any fellow SNL fans. Feel free to forward it, favorite it, share it. I like getting messages like this. And any of the rest of you, there's a few of you guys that write and say things about my podcast, and you all keep me going doing this, because sometimes I feel like, is anybody really even listening like that? They're not even getting that far. They probably listen to like the first 5 minutes of it. I check the analytics. Sometimes some people actually do that. They actually listen to like the first 2 minutes and then go click. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least I got the shout out. That's how I look at it. Okay, they heard the sponsor or whatever. They heard you know, but but yeah, you guys keep doing it, and I appreciate the fans. I appreciate the listeners. I appreciate the people who have subscribed, who only have 90 something subscribers right now. I know that's way less than what some other podcasts have, but like, hey, I'm a rookie in the game as far as podcasts and digital and audio content. So maybe a year from now or 2 years from now it'll be much bigger, but I just want to definitely give a shout out to the people who actually take the time to, click the play button and sit back and listen to what I have to say and laugh at the jokes and make the comments. And even for the people that disagree, I like you guys too, because you guys know how to disagree but still enjoy what I put out. Like, oh, you just some guy named Jay, you don't know what you're talking about. That skit wasn't that funny, or you're sleeping on Vanessa Bayer. She's funnier than you think. But you guys still keep listening and you keep posting your comments. So I like it. I love it. All right, enough about that. It was getting mushy. Just some guy named Jay. Good night and have a pleasant tomorrow.